My affair partner said it quietly. I think your husband knows. We were sitting in his car outside my apartment when he said it. I laughed. Not because it was funny, because I was terrified. What makes you think that? He didn't answer immediately. Instead, he looked toward my building. Then he said, because your husband has been watching me. My name is Emily. My husband's name is Daniel. And the man I'd been secretly seeing was Ryan. For 8 months, I had convinced myself that I was smarter than everyone around me. I thought I had hidden everything perfectly. I hadn't. Daniel and I had been married for 9 years. We met after college. He was steady, reliable, quiet, the kind of man who never needed to be the center of attention. He remembered anniversaries. He called my mother on her birthday. He always made sure my car was serviced. He was the person everyone called when they needed help. And somewhere along the way, I started taking all of that for granted. I told myself our marriage had become boring. We ate dinner at the same restaurants, watched the same shows, spent weekends doing errands. I wanted something different, something exciting. Then Ryan started working with me. He was charming, confident. He made me laugh. He noticed when I changed my hair. He remembered little details. He made me feel like someone was finally paying attention. The first time we had lunch together, I knew I was crossing a line. The second time, I looked forward to it. Then came the messages. Late night conversations, flirting, eventually a hotel. The affair became my secret world. I had one phone for Daniel, another for Ryan. I deleted messages, turned off notifications, used fake names. I thought I had everything under control. Then Daniel started acting differently. He didn't accuse me. He didn't ask questions. He simply became quieter. One night, he looked at me across the dinner table. You seem happy lately. I smiled. I am. He nodded. Good. Something about the way he said it made me uncomfortable. A few days later, I found him looking at my phone. What are you doing? Nothing. He handed it back. I checked it later. Everything was normal. I convinced myself I was imagining things. Then Ryan started getting nervous. It began with small things. Does your husband know where you work? I laughed. Of course. Does he know my name? Why would he? Ryan shrugged. No reason. Then he started noticing Daniel's car. One afternoon, Ryan called me. Your husband was outside the office. My stomach dropped. What? He was sitting in his car. Did he see you? I don't know. I told myself Daniel had simply been nearby. But it happened again. And again. Then Ryan saw him outside a restaurant. That was when the fear started. We stopped meeting at our usual places. We changed our routines. We became paranoid. And somehow, that made the affair feel even more exciting. I mistook fear for passion. Then came the night Ryan said the words that changed everything. We were sitting in his car. He looked at me. I think your husband knows. I laughed. You're being paranoid. Ryan shook his head. No. He knows. How? Ryan looked at me. Because he came to my apartment. I stopped breathing. What? 2 days ago. Daniel came to your apartment? Ryan nodded. What did he say? Nothing. Then why didn't you tell me? Because I didn't know what to do. I stared at him. What happened? Ryan took a breath. He stood outside my door for maybe 30 seconds. Then he left. Did you talk to him? No. Did he see you? I don't know. I felt sick. Why would he go there? Ryan looked at me. Because he wanted me to know he could. I didn't sleep that night. The next morning, Daniel acted completely normal. He kissed me goodbye. Have a good day. I stared at him. That's it? He smiled. What? Nothing. He left. I spent the entire day wondering whether he knew. Then I made a mistake. I called Ryan from my office. Did Daniel say anything when he came to your apartment? Ryan was silent. Then he said one thing. What? He said, tell her I'm not angry. I felt my heart drop. That's all? Yes. I couldn't understand. If Daniel knew, why wasn't he confronting me? Why wasn't he furious? Why wasn't he demanding answers? That night, I decided to tell him. Not everything. Not yet. I wanted to ask him if he knew. At dinner, I watched him carefully. Finally, I said, Daniel? Yeah? Is there something you want to ask me? He looked at me. No. Are you sure? Yes. You're acting strange. He smiled. I'm tired. Then he reached across the table and took my hand. Is everything okay? I nearly confessed. Instead, I said, yes. He squeezed my hand. Good. I went to bed feeling like the worst person alive. The next morning, Ryan called. You need to meet me. I drove to his apartment. He was standing outside. I can't do this anymore. I froze. What? Your husband knows. I don't know that. Ryan shook his head. I do. How? He handed me an envelope. What is this? Your husband gave it to me. My hand started shaking. I opened it. Inside was a photograph. It was a picture of Ryan and me. Standing outside a hotel, my heart stopped. Where did he get this? Ryan shook his head. I don't know. There was a note attached. 5 words. You both deserve the truth. I couldn't breathe. Why would he give this to you? Ryan looked at me. Because he didn't want to confront you yet. Why? Because he wanted to know something first. What? Ryan's voice dropped. Whether I was going to keep lying for you? I stared at him. What did you tell him? I told him the truth. I felt sick. You told him everything? Ryan nodded. Everything. I sat down. What did he say? Ryan looked away. He said he already knew. That sentence broke something inside me. Daniel had known. Not for a day. Not for a week. For months. And he had said nothing. I went home. Daniel was sitting in the living room. He looked at me, then at the envelope in my hand. You found out? I couldn't speak. You knew? He nodded. How long? 5 months. I started crying. Why didn't you say anything? Daniel looked exhausted. Because I wanted to know if you would tell me. I shook my head. Why did you go to Ryan? Because I wanted him to understand that I knew. And the photograph? I took it. When? 5 months ago. I couldn't believe it. You've known for 5 months? Yes. Why did you stay? Daniel looked at me. I wasn't staying. I froze. What? I was waiting. For what? For you to decide whether you wanted this marriage. I started crying harder. Daniel. He shook his head. Don't. I love you. I know. I made a mistake. I know. I can fix it. He looked at me. You keep saying that. Then prove it. I didn't know what to say. He continued. Not to me. To yourself? I sat across from him. Why didn't you leave? He looked down. Because I didn't want to make the decision for you. You already made yours. You chose someone else? I wanted you to have to live with that choice. I nodded through my tears. Are you leaving me? He was silent. Then he said, I don't know. That was somehow worse. The next few weeks were painful. Ryan ended the affair. He moved away. Daniel and I separated. I wanted him to forgive me immediately. He didn't. And for the first time, I understood that forgiveness wasn't something I could demand. I went to therapy. I stopped contacting Ryan. I stopped looking for another person to blame. And slowly, I began understanding what I'd done. I hadn't cheated because Daniel was terrible. I cheated because I wanted excitement more than honesty. I wanted attention more than commitment. I wanted someone to make me feel different instead of admitting I was unhappy with myself. 6 months later, Daniel agreed to have dinner with me. We sat across from each other at a quiet restaurant. He looked different, calmer. I've been thinking about what happened, I said. He nodded. I have too. I don't expect you to take me back. Good. I smiled sadly. I just want you to know I'm sorry. I know. And I finally understand why you didn't confront me. Daniel looked at me. Why? You wanted to see if I would choose you without being forced. He nodded. Exactly. I started crying. I should have chosen you. Daniel looked down. Maybe. Do you still love me? He was quiet. Yes. My heart jumped. But love isn't the only thing that matters. I knew he was right. We didn't get back together immediately. We started talking and then dating. Slowly, no secrets, no games, no second phones. It took a long time. Eventually, we decided to try again. Not because the affair hadn't happened. Because we had finally learned how to talk about the things we'd been avoiding for years. I still think about that night in Ryan's car. The night he looked at me and said, I think your husband knows. At the time, I thought those words meant my secret was about to destroy my marriage. The truth was, my secret had already destroyed it. Daniel simply knew before I was ready to admit it. And the strangest part? He didn't expose me. He gave me the chance to expose myself. Not because he was playing some elaborate game, because he wanted one answer. Not whether I loved Ryan, not whether I was sorry. He wanted to know whether I would finally tell the truth, when nobody was forcing me to. I wish I could say I immediately did. I didn't. But eventually, I did. And that's what saved what was left of my marriage. Not the photograph. Not Ryan leaving. Not Daniel confronting me. The truth. Because sometimes the person who knows your secret isn't the person who destroys your life. Sometimes, they're the person who finally gives you the chance to stop lying.